walk a mile shift with ASIG recently, and it was sort of interesting because I had already done it once, so it was interesting to see the differences. The first time I did it, I mostly shadowed with Dickie, and he sort of, treated me like, oh, you're just a little girl, you can't lift any bags, and so sort of just watch what I do, and, I won't make you do any of the hard work, which was really nice of him. But this time was a little bit different because I was with Lindsay's crew, so I was shadowing mostly with Casey, and they just treated me exactly like I was one of them. It was if I was just thrown right in there with 2 feet, and working in the bag room was a struggle. Like, it was, I think it's heavy lifting the bags out at the front counter, but when you're lifting them off of the belt and onto a cart that's already got bags stacked up, like, some of those 50-pound bags are really heavy, and some of them I physically couldn't even lift. So that was a pretty good wake-up call. Also, the activation, so having to scan every bag, was a struggle too, and it took a lot of time, so I can see their frustration behind that. And then when I went out to the aircraft, I did a whole turn. So they put me in the pit and I had to unload, I think it was 90 bags, which was hard because they want them now, and you're like hauling them, and all I could see was a sea of heavy tags, and so yeah, it was hard, and I was sweating. And then loading, same thing. It was like, here they are, like, you're gonna have to load them because they're coming. And, being able to stack them right, it was like, well, what if I don't stack them all the right way? Then they're not gonna fit. And so I was under all this pressure, and like trying to, again, lift bags, and doing it bent over was another part that was like, at the counter we do it standing, but when you're hunched over and trying to not hurt yourself, but do it in a timely manner, was a real struggle. But it was really cool to see how passionate all that whole crew was about their jobs and how safety conscious they all were. It was really quite amazing, and I said to myself at least 4 times during that shift that those guys do not get paid enough.
2 flights on the ramp. I did 149 as well as 3247. First thing I noticed, I was in the pit for both flights. First thing I noticed is that on the ramp, not everybody has a radio. It's not like us where we all have a radio all the time. Only their ramp lead, their assistant lead, and their driver have a radio at all times. So when, like for instance, when they're doing a bag pull, only 3 people can hear or know what's going on. Well, the rest of their crew has no idea what's going on at the time. After Dawson and I finished loading the bags onto 149, we were sitting in the push wondering what was taking so long, and in the end they were doing the bag pull the entire time. One thing I noticed about in the bottom of the pits of the Boeings is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Like, I always pictured pits as actual pits the bags were going in. It's just a little tiny compartment where they can put a net up. In the pit where they often, the pit 5 or pit 6, the last pit where they often have to bag pull from, if it's the first bag they put in, they literally have to pull out every single other bag to get to these bags at the end. So that I found was really interesting. The Encore aircraft are actually a lot easier to load bags into, so you can stand up while you're in them. I now know what an aft floor and an aft step is because of that. So that was an interesting little tidbit. Other than that, I don't know much else to say. Any bag problems for her to see at all, but turns out she'd taken a course with Sabre already. She already kind of knew exactly everything that we were doing.
Hello, my name is Sheila, and this is my day as a rampie. It started out 4 a.m. Picture it, dark and cold. I was to shadow Kyle. His smile was warm and very friendly. First off, it was a quick tour and breakdown of the bag room. He explained which carts held the bags for each destination onto oversized baggage. Simple enough to move bags to the main belt, but I had a little safety concern. Once a bag is moved from the belt, the motion sensor runs the belt until another one hits it, and it's a bit of a challenge to get it off a running belt. This is Leona. And my second concern was only that heavy bags are not always tagged, so we got to watch out for that one. A little bit of an ouch there. Now off to the fun stuff. We hook up a baggage cart to Harlan to start taking baggage out to the Head Start flight. At all times, Kyle was aware of safety and proper procedures. He was always making sure I knew of brake checks, chocks for Harlan's, and good old-fashioned ramp safety. I was soon introduced to the bag, belt, and pit of the aircraft. He showed me the load sheet and explained how things were placed in the pit. After loading the bags in the aircraft, this CSA found out she really doesn't have any upper body strength. Pardon me, I was treated to a ride to push the aircraft. It may be silly, but I was thrilled with this. I had an opportunity to chat with the guys in the ramp. Mike in the bag room has it all well organized and in control, friendly, quiet, and knowledgeable. He has a very strong passion and pride for his work. Kyle takes great pride in his work as well. He's a team player, calm, and willing to do whatever it takes to get the inside job done. I'm excited for him to join me inside tomorrow. As a wimp at +2 for our temp today, I can't imagine standing outside on those -40 days or pouring rain. These guys do everything and still seem to have fun doing it. It is a tough job, one that I would not want for more than a day. Kudos to them for making us look good at our jobs. I love their spirit and dedication.
So what is this for anyways? Like, what are you actually taping this right now? So I did the walk a mile for, I did 3274, 3275 and 3244 and also flight 320. I learned a lot of things about being on the ramp, which was the adverse working conditions of the guys on the ramp. You're kind of hunched over this most of the time when you're loading bags in pit 4. Lou, just go by. And also, I did some wing walking with Neil, which was excellent to see what the guys do out on the ramp. I loaded the pit for 3275, which was awesome because there's actually a lot more room to load the pits for Encore than there is on our jets. I learned a lot from both the guys. They very much they work hard and they are very safety conscious out there. Had to make sure I have my steel toe boots and my PPE. Other than that was about it. I did some work. I learned some stuff, and I had a really good time out there for the day.
How did you like the experience of Walk a Mile?
I loved it. It was amazing. It's really nice.
Did anything surprise you?
I was surprised at how nice the customers were sometimes.
What did you learn that you didn't know?
I learned how to operate their systems, how to use their scanners and stuff. It was nice to see the other side of it, I suppose.
So overall, it was a great experience?
Fantastic. I'd do it again.
So Kyle, how did you like the experience of Walk a Mile?
I liked it a lot.
Did anything surprise you?
The professionalism of all the employees when there's rude customers around.
Cool.
That's a lot.
Did you learn anything new from the experience?
Obviously, they have new technology, and it's a little harder to deal with like that. But it's no, it wasn't bad. It was interesting.
So overall, you liked the experience?
I did like it a lot. I'll do it again. Yeah.
Cool. Hey Jeanette, all right. So how did you like the experience of Walk a Mile?
Felt it was a really good learning experience, a chance to see what they do on the other side of the radio.
Did anything surprise you?
Yeah, there's a lot of miscommunication. I learned the baggage area of things, so I found out that they really don't know how many bags we offload and have to take that time don't take that time into account based on the amount of bags.
Did you learn anything new from your experience?
I'm a little rough on the people on the other end of a radio, and I have to be a bit more forgiving when they're not answering in the right amount of time.
So overall, would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, hey, so how did you like the experience of Walk a Mile?
Walk a Mile was pretty awesome. I didn't have to work the ramp. It was an easy day for me.
Did anything surprise you?
I know, same, walk in front of them, see same thing over and over.
So what did you learn that you didn't know?
Oh, what I learned was like all those Westjet agents, like let's say some of the passengers or guests are like late, and now they have to deal with them. They're yelling at each other. Well, not yelling, but that's what I learned. They have to deal with some not rude but upset people.
Cool. Thanks.